got a beautiful 58 degrees outside the studios here in Redway, California. I'm Javi, and it's time for Chi Talks. You've got it tuned to the mud, KMUD Garberville, 91.1 FM and HD1, KMUE Eureka, 88.1 FM and HD1, KLEI Laytonville, 90.3, Shelter Cove, 99.5, live and on demand at kmud.org. As mentioned, show this morning, every third Thursday of the month, Chi Talks with my co-host, Tony Khalife. And today's guest comes from the state of Utah. And we will be talking about shamanism from the Lakota tradition. So we're really excited to get into that. As mentioned, the show is Chi Talks, where it's all about the energy. If everything is made of energy, we have a lot to discuss. We haven't necessarily dived into this topic. Usually we keep the subject and the subjects and the subject matter to mind and wellness, self-care, nourishment, nature, and I've been kind of diving into Eastern mysticism, shamanism, and those traditions, rituals, practices, and philosophies that are thousands of years old. And what I found was they've been relegated more to the Buddhist and Taoist traditions. They've spanned many regimes and many leaders and organizational types where practices have been utilized by peasant classes, lower classes, and even elite and leadership classes. So, and then even at times where there's been persecution of Buddhism or Taoism in the East, it seems that those traditions and those religions have maybe shared the persecution at times, or they've shared the responsibility for passing on the traditions. Nevertheless, we find ourselves here in the West, and oftentimes we just kind of contrast the upbringing, lifestyle, culture, values here of the West, and juxtapose and have juxtaposed the East. And what we find is that the indigenous traditions had some relationships, connections, and values, it seems that we can revive, learn from, and help to steward and possibly improve our growth and development. So let's bring in our co-host and guest for today. Gentlemen, how are we doing there?
Morning, Javi.
Good morning. I enjoyed your introduction, Javi.
Thanks, gentlemen. I'm trying to work on that.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah, you're in the flow, brother.
Thank you. Let's just go ahead and do a little brief introduction. Tony, please remind everyone. We always love to have you here, and just remind everyone, a little bit of your background. It'll help us to get David also introduced and integrated in our circle.
Yes, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure co-hosting with you, Javi. you're definitely a brother in spirit and I was going to say a brother in arms, but well, actually in Bagua it's all about arms and palms and so I'm Tony Khalife. I'm a musician. I was born and raised in Lebanon, and I've been in the United States for about 42 years now. I came on a music visa, and I play all sorts of music, all kinds of music. I produce all kinds of music, and recently just produced the third annual Soham Bhakti Day Fest here in Bryceland at Beginnings, where we met David Dawnstar.
Right. Yep. That's right.
And
wonderful gathering.
Thank you so much. It was really lovely to have you there. You definitely represent. I do not know who you are, and so this is a cold run here for me. But
sure,
just the moment that we met. Definitely, there was an instant recognition and a feeling of
I agree
of lightness, and so please give us a little
I
background.
I hadn't met you. Sometimes you meet someone and know that you know them.
Oh,
right?
May it be so.
David, if you would, pull that microphone a little bit closer to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and the listeners will love that and
I'll
appreciate
scoot
that.
up.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Well, I appreciate these brothers helping get me integrated into their circle. Oh. And I'm David Dawnstar. I am a student of shamanism and have been acknowledged as such by the masters. Which is saying something. I'm a white guy and was raised that way. And to enter into the spirituality of another people that you're not raised with is difficult. And a lot of people don't think it can be done. I will say that it's hard when you don't experience life through the lens of a tribe to see the world through that lens. Mm-hmm. And it requires a lot of work and a lot of patience and a lot of humility, honestly, because I'm not Lakota. But I've been accepted and as family. And they're gracious people and lovely people and very, I guess I'd have to say patient people. So I received a lot of help. I did my best to be helpful in the ways I could. And I'm going to share today a gift. It's from the Native Americans, and it's been worked with so that even though we're not members of the Lakota tribe, we can access the gift.
No.
And so that's the... I was explaining to Javi that indigenous shamans struggle to help people in our culture because they see the world as a sacred space and also a negative space. I mean, it's both, right? So that there are positives and negatives. We see it all differently than they do. And some things that are sacred we see as negative. Some things that are negative we see as positive. So our point of view is orthogonal to or juxtaposed at 90-degree angles to the indigenous perspective of what it means to be human. Mm-hmm. We just lost sight of all that stuff. Anything goes. It doesn't really, and all of us are the same. Mm. When I say that, we're the same beings as the indigenous people. We're just born outside of the tribal ways. If we were born inside, would be that.
Right. No. Well, there's a part of us. There is definitely a part of us that is everybody and everything.
Correct. Yeah.
And if we trace it back, we go back as far as we can to our original DNA. We all come from a tribe of some sort.
That's right.
And we've all had shamanistic endeavors, and we've all been through experiencing the first
gifts.
Fire and gifts.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
agree. I agree totally. So it depends. Being born into the world is like accepting a path, like a train track. You're born, and that train track goes in front of you. It's hard to move those tracks when you're born with an identity, a gender, a sense of self. Some people are born with an inherent mission. Others are here purely for karmic reasons. But we are all the same. And the way things are set up with these different tracks makes it seem like we're all different.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an illusion.
It is an illusion.
Well, folks, if you're just tuning in, this is Chi Talks with Javi and Tony. We're talking with David Dawnstar today, and we're getting the shamanic perspective, if you will. I wanted to ask and maybe speak to the role of the shaman. So I have this perspective that the elders had this regard. There was reverence. There was regard for the elders. And actually, my background is in martial arts and martial arts of the East. And I had a friend who explained to me that one of the pathways, as you spoke with, pathways of the warrior was the warrior healer priest pathway, in that sort of like youth is wasted on the young, and the warrior does its warrior things in its youth and find itself on a healing path, for itself, for himself or herself, and for maybe his community or tribe. And then after that healing path, the priest path possibly opens up. So that was something that really opened my eyes, allowed me to give myself a little bit of grace for my youth. And then I wonder, so what, because of what, well, and in my experience growing up in a Hispanic tradition, with an ethnic culture, we are expected to respect our elders.
True.
And I guess
taught that way.
And we're taught that way. And I guess in the West, we're missing a little bit of that. And especially if you look into technology and the improvements of technology, and some of the older folks would say, "Oh gosh, I just," you find that some of the younger folks can run circles around the older folks,
without a doubt.
But in this realm, what is the role of the shaman, and how does the shaman proverbially run circles around the youth, if you will?
That's quite a question. And I'll just say we do live in an astonishingly disrespectful culture.
Okay.
And the Native Americans are appalled at our disrespect. They can't believe how disrespectful our culture is. When I talk about the larger cultural perspective, or the general one. Now, the shaman learns how to make, we'll put it this way, in technology, the youth have learned how to plant a carrot and get a carrot. Without that technology, I was raised with, there were no carrots like that. That wasn't a possibility. And so it's like a new way of experiencing the world with an understanding of ways to achieve your goals.
Ways to achieve your goals.
Yeah, with technology.
Okay.
All right. So, Javi set up recordings today and set up the equipment and got me a better chair for me. And I mean, that's all support for our goal in a way.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is that from a spiritual perspective, there is a way to plant a carrot and get a carrot that people do not understand. And it's very valuable to be able spiritually to make an intention and have it manifest. So it's a technology, but it's not with wires, it's not with, I'm not a technical guy. It's not that kind of technology. It's a different dimension. But there's an ancient technology which has been improved upon for our culture to be able to break through the resistance, if you will, which we have also with the electrical stuff. There's a resistance to receiving that connection with the above. And we expect to be rejected. We're not going to be rejected, but that's our fear. We've rejected ourselves already. We feel rejected by our communities, our parents. Everybody around us shares a kind of defensiveness of being born into a world to be what we're not, to figure out how to become authentic in a new way. That's what we're doing here. We get born, and we're no longer what we were. We forget. There's a veil over our understanding. It's the way it is. We're in 3D. We're not this body, but we identify with it. Hi, I'm David. And yet, I'm actually not David. Tony and I were talking before the chit-chatting, I should say, before we started. And I think you said we're everyone and everything. That's more true, or I should say it's also true. And there's a oneness to our experience that's been lost with the loss of our authenticity that we chose to experience by coming here, because this is a place to learn and grow and to transform. And the other beings, our friends and parents, envious our opportunity to transform here, because you can't do that up there. But here, there's a chance to break out of the train tracks if you want. But the train tracks are hard. It's designed to keep you on track.
Mm-hmm.
So the shaman shares a perspective for the youth to help free them to be who we really are. And what are we really are? What are we really? We're love. We're truth. We're light. Having a mortal experience in a physical body as if we're a human. Tony's from Lebanon. Sometimes I'm sure he's treated like he's a foreigner. He's the same as anyone else, anywhere. We're all family. We're all on the same side. On Earth, we get on these tracks and think we're on different sides or going different directions. It's an illusion. We're all the same, and that's the shamanic insight. We're all the same. And so my experience is your experience. Your experience is my experience. But because we appear different, because we sound different, because I have different genes. I wish I had Tony's music genes.
Me too.
You guys are so kind.
He's playing at Alice's restaurant. Is it tonight?
Yep.
In San Francisco. Not to brag. All right. So that's the whole reason why we're here, except we forget that. There's no manual. When you're born, you forget everything. It's the way it is. And you enter duality, and you have to be programmed negatively in order to even exist here in a balance. And so to be born into humanity is to be born into a cult.
All right.
Doesn't matter where, tribe, wherever. It's not who we really are, and it's not the way things really are, but it's the best we can do.
Yeah. Well, it really feels that the role of the shaman in modern day has really shifted, but the end result is always going to be the same, because the movement towards oneself, no matter where you come from, has to be a return to love, has to be a return to love in oneself. And then through that inner perspective, and you extend that to everything else, then you gain the respect to nature, then you gain respect to elders, then you can gain respect to living a harmonious way.
I agree.
And you're right, as Javier was saying, that youth is wasted on the young. I mean, that's...
Mine was.
Well, I mean, I think we all have experienced that. We at this moment, we all can say that I wish I knew this when I was young and had the energy to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I wouldn't have created so much chaos and so much disorder in my life. And that now at this part of my life, I'm trying to kind of figure out how to return back to basics, which is really the essence of how you love yourself in a manner that will allow you to love others.
Right.
And
that's right. And Tony, you've put your finger on it. The Christian ethic that I think everybody, the Hindus believe the same thing, is to love our neighbors as ourselves. And the problem is we don't love ourselves that much. We really don't. We're pretty hard on ourselves. If we talked to other people the way we talk to ourselves, we'd have no friends.
Right, absolutely.
And why is that? Well, we are actually trying to whip our inner child into shape to seem, to look like they are acceptable when they're acceptable already. And we've got it backwards. we are in the way as the adult of the transformation, that if we opened up and loved our inner child and connected the inner child to divine grace, would be there.
Oh.
And that's what I'm sharing today. I'm going to share a way to do that that's been worked out for everybody, not just tribal members. Oh, this is it's tricky because I was saying that a shaman will take a white person, say, or a Lebanese person, or whatever.
Soon an
background.
alien.
Yeah, and the truth is, we're all from someplace else.
Oh.
We are, as humans, we are appearing in this form, but we're not in this form originally. And it's not a big deal, but, everybody's worried about alien contact. No, we are the aliens already.
It's been confirmed.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Direct encounters right here at KMUD, folks. Here in Redwood, California, direct. What is it called? It's not. There's no abductions happening, but it's only
not yet.
Adventures of the third kind here, as we find ourselves.
Right. So how do we go from being lost humans to authentic beings again? And it has to do with making peace with your inner child. So we're born into this world, our inner child freaks out and creates a mask to protect him or protect her from these horrible people who are so insensitive and outrageous and uncaring and unseeing and unfeeling. And so we create a mask that looks like that. As adults, we are that mask. And we think we are the sum total. Our authenticity lies in our inner child, who's hiding in there, who feels when we say, "Damn it," we're mad at ourselves or something. The inner child feels like we're swearing at him or her. And so it's really a process of bringing that inner child back into connection with life, which is available 100%. We're loved 1,000,000 times more than we can understand. The divine's right there. The moment we open up, every time I open up, there's the divine. Guaranteed.
No, absolutely.
And so it's the adult who's in the way. And it's our own fear. And there's really nothing to be afraid of. To relax into that love is the safest, easiest thing to do once we stop attacking ourselves. And it's the self-attack. Of course, we've made mistakes. You can't grow as a human without making mistakes. That's how we grow. And none of that is held at our account from the divine perspective in the way that we think. Now, we hold ourselves to it. Self-forgiveness is the hardest thing to achieve. God will forgive you long before you forgive yourself. I'll tell you that right now. And so the way that the Native Americans get past this problem is that they use the symbol of fire for the divine. And I'm going to light a candle here in the studio. This is being filmed also. But if you're at home if you don't have a candle lit, join me. Join us in getting a candle. Any candle will do. We don't use black, even though it's a sacred color, because of its associations with evil. There's divine darkness, which is holy. But black is often considered, it's been
Put in a box.
Yeah, it has. So we don't use black candles for that reason.
If I may just jump in here real quick before you get started. It is 9:30, folks. You've got it tuned to the mud. This is Chi Talks with Javi and Tony. Today our guest is David Dawnstar of the Lakota tradition, and we're talking about shamanism. I want to let you know your local farmers markets in southern Humboldt, Eureka, Fortuna, McKinleyville, and Arcata are now open, featuring Humboldt County grown and GMO-free plant starts, farm fresh fruits and vegetables, flowers, meat, fish, eggs, crafts, and more. CalFresh EBT is welcome, and Market Match is available to help make fresh food more affordable. More info at northcoastgrowersassociation.org. Thank you, gentlemen.
David Dawnstar, I'm going to wait for you to light the candle, but unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to skip here, get in the car and drive a few hundred miles to get down to Alice's restaurant.
Well, I blessings on your journey and success, and I hope you listen to us as you drive.
Most certainly. Okay. Most certainly, I continue
We'll feel that connection.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much, Javi. We'll see you on the weekend at the Summer Arts Music Festival.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, David. Blessings.
David is lighting the candle here in Studio B, and he's offering us a gift today.
Yeah. So as I light this fire, see you, Tony. As I light this fire, I do it with this intention. And intentions are conscious requests. And it's a prayer. There are different ways of praying. This is one. The intention is that, and this is the active ingredient of the prayer. We're asking the divine parents, mother and father, to manifest their presence through this flame as a symbol in this dimension. And so we say that, the Native Americans will say, in the name of the Creator, in order to get the leverage of honoring the Creator, and then the divine will honor our request.
Let's get the flame in the...
And that is, it's the same in all religions. But this is not a religion. This is spirituality. And there is a distinction, which we won't get into, but this is direct contact. And so this fire, with the intention I've stated, if you have a fire burning at home, or can imagine the one in the studio, because it's lit, you can feel a positive energy coming from the flame. It's expansive. It feels good. And the more you align with that energy, the more it expands within you. And there's nothing to be afraid of you're not going to be rejected. We only really, in truth, reject ourselves by being hard on ourselves with some story that's not even reality, it's an illusion. And we can wake up from that illusion with this divine connection. So that's the sacred fire. And there's a group of us, the name of the group is Divine Essence, but there's a group of us that have worked on building a portal to get past the blocks and to assist people in this connection with grace. And it's superimposed with this Native American tradition. In other words, it's the same kind of thing, but it includes everybody who wants to be connected, regardless of your birth, your gender, your identity, which is a made-up thing for this world. And you can choose to be reconnected to divine grace right here, right now, in the present moment, which is the gift. And we just stay in the moment with this loving, expansive, sweet heart energy. And if you're feeling an ache in your heart, that's the hardness. You know, when we get hurt, we get angry because it hurts so much. And we harden our heart against it so that we can pretend like everything's okay. But we carry around a lot of hurt, a lot of pain in our heart chakra. The Native Americans use the term Nerika. And that heart Nerika is the portal within you for this fire. When we light the fire with a candle, we're actually opening up this heart portal with and turning the light on the inside, and you can feel it. It feels good. And so these are different dimensions. We're here in the third dimension in the studio. I'm looking at Javi through the window. That's a dimension. Our hearts are another dimension. And in our hearts there's a glow. And the sacred fire brings the true flame into our heart space. And that is something that we learn to cherish, something we crave. It shows us who we really are. We don't need any more proof because we can feel it. And that's why we're here in this world. The hard thing about this world is that we have a human body and we feel things sensitively in this dimension that other people cannot feel. But that's also the good thing, because you can feel right now an expansion in the heart space, which without a human body you cannot feel. And so that's the good and the bad of mortal existence. And we can use it in our favor. And now I'm going to share with you a shamanic prayer. It's a song. And it's referred to as part of the red magic of the Creator. With your permission, Avi, I'll sing this. This is a Lakota song. It's in the unknown tongue, so nobody knows what the words mean. To me, today, with this song, it means something like, Divine Ones, help me. Help me connect in my heart with your heart. I want to come home here and now. Something like that.
Amen.
Yana, yoanka china yona. Hiawayo ane, hiawayo ane, hiana yo ane. Yana yoanka china yona. Hiawayo ane, hiawayo ane. Yana yoanka china yona. Yona yo ina, hey ne yo we. Hiawayo ane, hiawayo ane. Yana yo wanka china yona. Hiawayo ane, hiawayo ane. Yana yo wanka china yona. Hiana yo wina, hey ne yo way. Now, this is a song that's sung in the Lakota heavens. The happy hunting ground, so-called. And so that's a true song. When we sing, we're singing from the left brain. We even learn the lyrics in the left brain, not the right brain. So that's our creative side, which is our spiritual side, really. That's where all art comes from, and, that's our authentic way of being, and we... so that's Lakota sing their prayers. And they say that learning their songs shows our sincerity in trying to learn and study with them. When we learn their songs, they like that.
Mm. Well, I'd love to take just a deep breath and settle into this gift that you've presented us, the sacred fire, the articulated intention, the invitation to open up the heart, and this beautiful song, the Lakota song that you've shared. And I hope that the listeners out there have experienced what I've experienced here, a settling of the nervous system, a downregulation, a washing over, if you will, and that message from divine grace that everything is going to be okay, and everything is and is okay. And we can open up the phone lines right now. We still have some time. 923-3911. That's 707-923-3911. And if you're just tuning in, the show is Chi Talks with Javi and Tony. Our guest today is David Dawnstar, joining us, advocating and sharing the Lakota shamanic traditions, providing an invitation and an opportunity to remind ourselves about this sacred journey that we're on, and to open ourselves and open our hearts to back to ourselves and into and for one another and to one another. I often talk about the soul family of which we are a part, and to which David spoke earlier. Speaking and being and finding that place to which we are all connected. And he just gave us a great gift to remind ourselves. And I know, there's things going on here in the office. We've got someone working on the outside. We've got papers and things being delivered. You're out there driving. You're checking off those things on the to-do list. You're heading to work. You're in what we call the matrix, living your matrix life. And our invitation today is just to have a moment and to remind yourself that you are of sacred origin, and it's always with you, just as divine grace, mercy, forgiveness, and heart, love, and compassion is always with you. And David lit the candle there for the sacred fire to remind us and to give us that opportunity. And as I opened up the introduction of the show this morning, I was noting the indigenous traditions of the East in Buddhism and Taoism, where the shamanic elders took part and served the community with rituals, with traditions, shared values, and part of those strategies or part of those tools that they used was the voice, the incantations, the fire, the sacred flame, and all the elements of nature, and including this one that we often forget about, which is the body in and of itself, as a reminder and as a tool, connecting us to nature and also to the divine. And in the Chinese Taoist tradition, we're reminded that of the three powers, the Sansai and the Sanbao, in the individual small universe that is the individual body. The Jing, the Qi, and the Shen service these three powers, and they're connected to the large cosmic powers of the heaven, earth, and humanity. So I really appreciate David Donstar coming in and giving us this opportunity to connect to humanity in this way through this heart and through this portal. So thank you.
Thank you, Javier. Yeah, I will say that the Hindu yogic tradition has preserved their sacred fire, as have the Taoists and Buddhists. It's been lost in the West, except for indigenous people. It's probably the greatest gift, honestly. It helps establish a connection if you work it like I showed you and make that intention for it to be a symbol, and then ask the divine. The Native Americans put it like this: in the spirit world, symbols are real. So by asking this fire to be a symbol, it becomes a dedicated flame or a sacred flame, and you can get the true flame lit in your heart again and wake up to your relationship and learn to put that first. And you'll get everything you want that way, in a good way. Without that help from the divine, even if you get what you think you want, it doesn't give you what you thought it would. And that's another shamanic lesson. There's a right way of finding happiness and a wrong way. And we get to learn those things here.
Well, we've got a little less than 10 minutes left, and I want to invite you to speak about your path that brings you, and your journey that brings you here. And we briefly talked about, like at the Bhakti Day Fest, about the community offerings that you're looking to provide. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm from a place that doesn't looks on Native American spirituality with narrow eyes, I'll say.
Okay.
And as if there's just lots of paths up that mountain. And the Lakota tradition that I was taught is one of those paths. And it works. And but I also studied with other masters, and I've learned a lot about how to get up that hill. And the particular problem that we have in our culture is that everything is desacralized or sacralized. Another way of saying it is, people ask, is nothing sacred? And that's right. From the point of view of our culture, if it's not monetized, it's not valuable. And this is really about finding a joy through waking up to life. Life in the sense of actually being present through the heart space and connected with the divine and with others. So I share healing circles, and I also honor plant medicines and as a guide, and have studied those things and know my way around them. There are lots of really great healers out there. I love that work. And did we get a call?
No call.
I saw a flurry, and I thought maybe there was activity. But so I'm here, and my I can be contacted through David Donstar at unseeable.net.
David Donstar at unseeable.net.
Yeah.
And you live up north in Eureka right now?
Arcata.
Yeah. Okay.
But honestly, I have to find my own place, and I could use help, but in the medicine world, it's based on sharing and exchange and of energy, and so I always appreciate donations and appreciate people helping me. I've got my challenges as well.
Yeah. As we close out the show, we've talked about a number of things, and you've touched on. I wish we had a little more time, and maybe we'll have you come back as well if you don't mind.
I'd be honored.
You talked about our inner child and the sacred flame. You talked about being born into the cult of humanity.
Yeah.
And developing a mask. And you talked about in adulthood having that mask. And I think that mask is connected to, the heart and the hurt of the heart. And this is something that I'm touching on in my own, on my YouTube channel with what I call the Martial Mystic series. And I opened up an opportunity in the spring season to drop the mask on our emotional life and emotional heart, where in the spring the liver is activated in Chinese medicine, TCM. The liver's activated and it's connected to the emotions of irritability and anger and irritation.
Yeah.
And so I took that opportunity to say,
that's where we store all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I took the opportunity to say, we're all experiencing that. It's normal. So let's drop the mask on that. Anything, especially right now in the springtime, as such beautiful life is blooming all around us, we can find ourselves lost in the matrix with all the things that we want to bloom in our own lives, but meeting obstacles with irritation and irritability and anger. But when we drop the mask on that, we have that opportunity to connect to the heart and say, and remind ourselves and give us the opportunity to find that grace.
Yeah.
And the sacredness of how we're all experiencing that. And then just to say, hey, it's spring, it's liver, and this emotion is not me as much as I want to identify.
Unless we hold on to it.
Right. Right.
And who do we want to be? We can be right and pissed off. And it's not like we have to make this up. We have a lot of reasons to be angry.
Yeah.
Lots of things out there. However, it's pretty miserable to be enraged, and it is hard on the liver. Our liver could use a break. And so it's like with this sacred fire, once you've lit it, you can think about the reasons you're angry and acknowledge that, yeah, I'm angry. Hell yeah. And I have every right to be angry. However, do I want to be defined by that? Do I want that to be my face to the world? When in reality, I'm angry because I didn't get the connection I wanted as a child. I got the wrong connection or a non-connection. And I can be angry about that, or I can open up and have that connection now, in the here and now, by lighting that fire as a symbol and making the intention to connect with the divine through this portal that is being shared in addition to the Native American tradition. And this portal has all the deities. There's actually many, but they're one. And you can call them Allah, you can call them Jesus, you can call them the Tao, you can call them different names, but you can also get to know them through this portal and ask questions and have them answered in real time.
Well, I just want to acknowledge your path and your journey that brings us here today, and
thank you, Javier,
and bless you, and thank you for coming in and sharing this with us, with all the KMUD listeners and family here in Northern California. The show is Chi Talks, folks. TalkingChi@gmail.com, TalkingQI@gmail.com, and you can find more. And you can contact David Dawnstar at
unseeable.net.
David Dawnstar at unseeable.net. I want to remind you to embrace the woo. And until next time, may your chi flow smoothly. Find us this weekend at the community park for the 49th Annual Summer Arts Music Fest at the Wellness Zone, presented by Inner Bloom. Blessings. Have a good one. Again, David, thank you so much.
Thank you, Javier and Tony.